Dark is an extraordinary play for me to have written, and many people have said so, because it was unlike anything I'd ever done. I've always been quite nervous of the supernatural. I've never liked the idea of seances. I've never been to one and would never go to one. I've always been very scared of that and of the dead. And yet, I've always loved spooky plays. An extraordinary thing happened on the first day of rehearsals. And that is, I used to have a little flat in a kind of pied-à-terre in the West End in London, which was quite easy to get to the BBC. And David Spencer and myself were going out to dinner one night, and he said, I'm just going off to buy a bottle of drink in the off-licence. So he got out, and we had a dormobile at the time. And I got out, and I read a newspaper while I waited for him. And as I waited there, and I was on the roadside, not on the pavement side, but on the roadside, I was reading it, a Jaguar car came rushing to a halt, skidded to a halt, and a man got out. He was a very tall man, and a great thuggish looking guy. And I looked up and smiled at him, thinking he was going to ask the way, some directions or something, but not at all. He just landed the most awful blow on me with his fist. And he had a knuckle duster on, and he burst my face open, so the blood spurted all over the place, and I fell to my knees, and I was dazed. And so I didn't know what to do, but I heard David rushing, "I'll kill you, you so I'll kill you." But this guy had just got back into the car, and he had a kind of a rather floozy blonde in a leopard skin coat in the car, put his foot down on the accelerator and rushed off. What was all that about, I thought? I never saw the man, I never knew the man, and we never discovered who or what he was. But he went off, and I had to go to hospital, left stitches and everything else. It was awful. The following day I went into rehearsals, and everyone was horrified to see me, my face with all these stitches and cuts. And Bessie Love was there. She was just a tiny little woman, but she was so vibrant and so extraordinary in many ways. And she said to me, I told her what had happened, and she said, I want to talk to you when we go for a coffee upstairs during the break. So we did, and we sat together. And she said, Dear Victor, I knew this was going to happen in one way or another, because yesterday I saw around you a ring of light around your head. And I knew that to me signified that something could happen. Now, it turned out that Bessie was I think she was a medium or a Christian Scientist or something like this, but she was very religious, and she had foreseen this, so she told me. And she said, but I did not want to tell you because I didn't want you to be frightened or unnerved by it. And she was very, very upset by it. And it was quite difficult getting through that day, but when we heard that, when she said to me, where did this take place? And I said, well, it took place just around the corner from where I live, and it's a street called George Street. And we all suddenly realised the significance of that. The name of the dead man in Dark is George.